We are in Shanghai, China, which lays host to round 7 here in Season 2 of the SCRL Red Bull Formula 1 Series at the Shanghai International Circuit. The number 55 car of Tanner Hill will be leading us to the green flag. Start beside him is the 27 of Riley Spurleytube. Rest of the starting lineup for today's race. All 22 drivers are here for round 7 of Season 2. Riley Spurleytube, the winner in the last race at Mazda, will be looking to win back-to-back races and join Ty Dent as the only drivers to win twice here in Season 2. Season 1 champion Nick Kennedy won this race one season ago, which was the season finale. Nick Kennedy is starting way back in 21st spot. So with the win in the last round, Riley Spurleytube is now tied with Nick Kennedy for the most wins in the Formula 1 division at 4. Riley Spurleytube starting second, trying to break the tie and become the all-time race winner here in the Formula 1 division. This 3-mile road course, which, as I mentioned before, was the season finale in Season 1, has been moved up the calendar just a little bit, and is round 7 here in Season 2. And now, the command.
Drivers, start your engines.
The field is rolling off. We had an exciting season finale in Season 1 where Ding Drinker was penalized for jumping the start. And Riley Spurleytube will go on to victory. What will happen here as we return to Shanghai for the first time here in Season 2? Tanner Hill looking for a great jump, and he is gone. We are racing here at Shanghai for the second time here in series history. And as you see, Riley Spurleytube, not that great of a jump as we came to the start-finish line. He's falling behind Sebastian Torres and Ty Dent. Slowly through the S's, Tanner Hill leads them. Sebastian Torres trying to make a move on Ty Dent, but here comes Riley Spurleytube on the inside, trying to go around that Ferrari. Not able to. Sebastian Torres remains in a podium position. And you see Nick Kennedy has moved up quite a lot. Remember, he started 21st. He is in about 20th. Back up front to our race leader, Tanner Hill, who's got a pretty big margin over Ty Dent. Now, it doesn't pay to have a big lead here at Shanghai because for those of you that watched the Formula E event, that race driver did not win. He led all 6 laps and then blew up on the final lap. So it's never over until the driver takes the checkered flag here at Shanghai. Tanner Hill goes a little bit wide, that's all right, as most drivers do on that turn. See Carter Friesen getting passed by Bryanson Hill as we head toward the second pair of S's. Ty Dent trying to close in on Tanner Hill. Riley Spurleytube back to 4th. As you see Joseph Huffman and the Haas entry. Behind him, Bryanson Hill, as I mentioned before. Battle for position, Colin Jubber trying to pass Zachary Fitzwater. You got a Mercedes trying to pass a... I don't know what car that is, I apologize. Whoa, we got a hard crash. What the heck happened there? Joseph Huffman just took out Jack Halleck. The caution is not out, but he will receive a penalty. Joseph Huffman will. Well, he's heading to pit road anyway, so he's going to serve that penalty now. he just flat out took him out. But back up front, Tanner Hill with a 700th of a second lead. Here comes Ty Dent right on his rear wing. Ty Dent went winless for 5 years until he scored his first win at Zandorf. Then he repeated at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park in the Canadian Grand Prix. Now he's trying to double down here at Shanghai. As you see the two Haas entries on pit road, Tony Newman and Joseph Huffman. That'll move everybody up a spot. Nick Kennedy has moved up to 15. Not bad for a driver who started 21st. But they're all chasing Tanner Hill, making his 7th career SCRL start here in the Formula One division. Never competed until this season started. And in round 7, he has led his first ever laps here in this league. He got some tough challengers behind him, and Ty Dent, Sebastian Torres, and Riley Spurleytube. Slowly making his way through the S's. He does not want to make a mistake right here. He's able to make it through, so is Ty Dent. Sebastian Torres goes way wide off track, which will allow Riley Spurleytube to pass him. So move Spurleytube up into a podium spot, at least for now. Let's go back and check our Season 1 champion, Nick Kennedy. Here he is. His next target will be the 11 of Trey Wright. See Tony Newman back out on track, and so is Joseph Huffman. So you have all the cars back out on track. You see Steve Larker in the Mercedes in 11th. Colin Jabberg, the last car that will receive a point in this race, as they are running right now. But leading them off the final turn, Tanner Hill. We'll see how much of a margin he has this time. It was 700ths of a second last time. It is now a second. It was 1.19, so he obviously gained. Spurleytube, of course, up to 3rd. Trying to tie Nick Kennedy. Trying to break the tie with Nick Kennedy with most wins. Currently at 4. Trying to get number 5 here today at the Chinese Grand Prix. Battle for position between the two Red Bull cars, Marcus Sasachi and David Solomon. Sasachi could have been a champion here in the SCRL and the Rainbow Dash Truck Series, but of course he got caught up in someone else's problems at the season finale of Las Vegas and lost out in the championship. And that's really his claim to fame. He's never been able to rebound and be a serious championship contender, but he's still trucking along, trying to get that first title. You see the 5 car, the Ferrari of Richard Torres. Of course, his brother Sebastian Torres is further up ahead. There he is. Currently in 4th, just outside of a podium finish. But they're all chasing the Red Bull, or is that the Toro Rosso, of Tanner Hill. He's pulling away from Ty Dent ever so slowly. Remember, there are no green-white checkers in the Formula division. So if something happens, that's that. Nick Kennedy has gained a spot. He is now up to 14th spot. But of course, he is outside of the points range. Looks like everybody has settled into their own groove. Tanner Hill just trying to hit his marks. And pull away from Ty Dent over the next 3 laps as he hit the final turn. It'll be 3 laps to go. We will be officially at the halfway mark. Sebastian Torres losing ground with the front 3. And the lead is now 1.53. He's gained 400ths of a second over Ty Dent. Let's see who has the fastest lap. That'll be Tanner Hill, 2 minutes 25 seconds. Oh, nope. The The 88 just posted the fastest time. Zachary Fitzwater, 2 minutes 24 seconds. .824. He's got about 0.04 of a second lead over Tanner Hill. So Fitzwater, who is currently in 7th, has the fastest lap. That's pretty amazing. I mean, Tanner Hill's out in fresh air. You would think he has the fastest lap, but he doesn't. There you see the margin back to 2nd, then 3rd, then 4th. Spurley Tube has Sebastian Torres to mess around with. Sebastian tried to get back around Spurley Tube and get a podium finish for Ferrari. But Spurley Tube, the points leader, he wants to extend his lead. He wanted to win, but I think he's going to have to settle for 3rd, at least at this point. Unless something happens to our race leaders, which is always a possibility. Nick Kennedy in 13th now, so he gained a spot. He's slowly closing. His next target will be Patrick Smith in 12th. Tanner Hill making his way through the S's. He just has to hit his marks. Keep Ty Dent a safe distance behind him and keep him out of the draft. And Tanner Hill could be drinking champagne for the first time in his career. And his nation's national anthem will also be playing. Of course, that is customary to the Formula rules. Whoever wins will get to stand up on the podium, and your national anthem will be played. But don't pop the champagne bottle yet, because he still has 2 more laps to go. Off the final turn. 2 to go for Tanner Hill. The lead was 1.53. It is now 1.8. He gained 0.03 of a second that lap. Take a look back at our Season 1 champion Nick Kennedy, see if he can gain any on Patrick Smith. And it still looks the same, as everybody has settled into their own groove, just riding around, except for Sebastian Torres. He wants 3rd back. If you can't get a win, you got to try and go for as many spots as you possibly can, and Sebastian Torres in the Ferrari is not giving up. Currently in the draft, Spurley Tube trying to use DRS to close in on the 27 car. Tanner Hill just hitting his marks, not making any mistakes. For those of you that did not watch the Formula E event here at Shanghai, it was around this turn that race leader Sammy Sabri Jr. broke something in his car, and the driver went on by to win the race. Who was running 2nd, passed him, and won the race. That being Nick Speed. And you see Nick Kennedy's right behind Patrick Smith. We'll see if he has anything for him. Ty Dent goes a little bit wide, trying to get a run off the turn. It may do more harm than good, as Riley Spurley Tube still holds 3rd, Sebastian Torres 4th, and 5th is Bryson Hill. So this will be a good day for the Hill family. And 1st and 5th. Tanner Hill slowly making his way through the turns. Ty Dent trying to close in. Into the final turn. It'll be the white flag for Tanner Hill. Stays on track. White flag 1 lap to go. Will Tanner Hill break the streak? The last 3 races here at Shanghai, the leader, who is led at the white flag, did not make it back. Into the first turn. Slowly easing his way through. He lost 0.02 of a second that lap to Ty Dent. Into the S's, ever so slowly. Remember, Ty Dent has to beat him. And the battle between third is not really... Oh, Sebastian Torres getting a run. But Spurley Tube beats him off the turn. You see Nick Kennedy is still behind. Patrick Smith looks like he won't catch him. Tanner Hill still leading Ty Dent. Spurley Tube in third. Sebastian Torres fourth. Bryson Hill in fifth. Tanner Hill just hitting his marks. He had never made a single start in the SCRL before this series started, season number 2. He takes the lead early. Actually, he was the pole setter. He got a great jump at the start. He's able to maintain his race lead. He has to make his way through the final few S's. He does. So does Ty Dent, trying to close in ever so slowly. But Tanner Hill is going to climb to the top of the hill today here at Shanghai. He's got a little bit of breathing room between him and Ty Dent. Sebastian Torres trying to close in, but it's not going to be enough. Into the final 2 turns. Ty Dent not within striking distance. It looks like Tanner Hill, the rookie, is going to do it off the final turn. Yes, he is. Tanner Hill, in his 7th career Formula One start, will score his first career win. He dominates here at Shanghai. Ty Dent crosses the line in second. Here's third, Riley Spurley Tube. Fourth, Sebastian Torres. And fifth, Bryson Hill. So the streak of the driver leading on the last lap is over with Tanner Hill winning. Here are your race results. Tanner Hill scores the win. Second, Ty Dent. Third, points leader, Riley Spurley Tube. Fourth, Sebastian Torres. Fifth, Bryson Hill. Sixth, Trevor Collins. Seventh, Zachary Fitzwater. Eighth, Carter Friesian. Ninth, Colin Dryberg. And 10th is Jack Halleck. Rest of your race results. We had 21 drivers finish the race on the lead lap, and something happened to Trey Wright to make him finish 22nd, not running at the finish. Well, that is it for round 7 here at Shanghai. We will take it to victory lane for the very first time in his career with Tanner Hill. Here are your point standings after round 7 at Shanghai. Riley Spurley Tube is still our points leader. He has a 4-point lead over Ty Dent. Third is Colin Dryberg, 7 points behind. Fourth, Zachary Fitzwater, 9 points behind. And fifth is Sebastian Torres, 12 points behind. Sixth is Trey Wright. Seventh is Tanner Hill with the race win, gains 6 spots. Eighth, Joseph Huffman. Ninth, Marcus Sasachi. And 10th is Carter Friesian. 11th is Steve Larker. 12th, Tony Newman. 13th, Jack Halleck. 14th, Bryson Hill. 15th, Nick Kennedy. 16th, Richard Torres. 17th, Trevor Collins. And 18th is Gordon Smith, the last driver to have scored points. 19th, Cassie Dent. 20th, Roger McLaughlin. 21st, David Sullivan. And 22nd, Patrick Smith have yet to score points here in Season 2. That is your point standings after round 7 at Shanghai. We will next see you at round 8 at Monaco for the Grand Prix of Monaco. And until then, keep the hammer down, and we'll see you at the track.